get a possible reverse sweep on the way. We're going to find out. It's me, nice to an Ingon, and I don't know if I'm going to call you that, man. I don't know if I'm going with the, what is it?
Slick thick.
Slick thick.
It's not a requirement. You guys don't need to force it. I just wanted to get it out there.
All right, I'll say it to you later. Now let's look at the emblems.
All right, I want to see what the Novaria is on. Of course, he had to get Rupture on that. Now, one of the difficult things about picking the Novaria for TL-Ph, though it was a good response to the swerve, is that they will be susceptible to invades up against the Jushin, Hilda, Baxia Roam, empowered by an Baxia Jungle, empowered by the Angela. This is a high invade comp on the side of Onic. So JP really needs to make the most of this Unbreakable so that he'll have a counter engage with the taunt. And Sanji can only do so much to stop invades and aggressive plays by Onic once they start going into the jungle of Team Liquid.
You know, after seeing Brusco use the Badangs, the Chos, the Kaleas, goes with an Angela this time. And the last time we saw this kind of composition wherein there was a Baxia jungler and the roamer Angela was between Alter Ego and BTR week 9 of MPL-ID, and they actually won against BTR.
Yeah, it's something that can work. I mean, I commented to this in the panel yesterday. I was like, you know, I'm glad we're in this part of the meta where you can bring the utility junglers back again. And I know we don't see Baxia too much in the jungle, but King Kong brings it forward. We've seen a whole lot of Fredrin lately. So it's like a throwback, but it's like we don't want to stay there. Like we just want to take a glimpse at it because we were there for so long before. But the way that's going to work with the Angela is going to be great. Oh, they can make a play here. Already burning the flicker, though, from Sanford.
Yep.
So this could be a good sign to just go ahead and grab that turtle. It looks like even for TL-Ph. Look at Kirk.
The Lantern Flare and the Puppet on the string. Intense
No
control. No way, Kirk. Almost got a hold of Carl Teasy there, so it looks like TL-Ph won't be able to contest for this first turtle.
Yeah, Onic Philippines can just continue to do this, or specifically Kirk. They have free access to the jungle of Team Liquid right now. Carl Teasy is going to be able to get his orange buff, but it's tough. They could not get close to the turtle, and this might be the story for the first 7 minutes of the game, where it's just Onic constantly going to the jungle of Team Liquid in the key objective team fights.
Okay. That's well played for Onic. You know, the whole sequence of that leading into that first turtle. Not going to be anything massive, of course, but at least getting that first objective. And it looks like they're able to go ahead and actually poke down quite a few members of TL-Ph. Kirk especially. I mean, we've seen this Hilda in action quite often, and it is just tough to deal with for a lot of teams early game. Oh,
Astral Echo dropped down, Lantern Flare as well. Forced out Sanji's flicker there to evade a potential death.
Yeah, good thing he actually used that flicker. If he didn't, he most likely would have been taken down by Super Friends and King Kong. King Kong could have just tower dived, and Super Friends would be the one to finish off Sanji. So, looking at the goal difference, already a lead for the Jushin, small one. Irithel as well. Kelra having a fun time in lane, of course, back in the day, which was December, so it wasn't that far away.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. December 2024, I remember those times. Irithel was always just an instant answer to the Granger in the gold lane. It teetered out and balanced out eventually, where it was a little bit more of a skill matchup. But lately, with the resurgence of Irithel, with all of the Granger picks coming into the playoffs, we're starting to be reminded as to why Irithel dominated that matchup for quite a few weeks.
Yeah, you know, Kirk's treating this game like a marathon, literally from the top lane, starting to stay here in the bottom lane to go for a gank onto JP and to Oheb. So now they're trying to sandwich the two members of TL-Ph. Sanji already cast the Astral Echo, but Kirk with the power of Wilderness drops down Sanji.
Kirk's a bully, man.
Yeah, measured and calculated for the Kirk attack. He can just keep doing that over and over again. This is going to be a very fun game for a Hilda EXP, who's just now chasing Carl Teasy. After taking down Sanji, he's going after the young goat.
He's going to zone him out pretty well. Sanford's trying to help here. The JP around the corner. What do they do?
Picked up by the Lantern Flare. Sanford desperately trying to go with Infernal Pursuit and zone out the members of Onic as TL-Ph just Carl Teasy just wants to get his orange buff as Onic secures the turtle.
Very close. It looked like Sanji was going to get the last hit into that turtle, but just in time, King Kong was able to retribution it away. Again, Keller having a great time in lane. Already one whole EX experience bar gap between him and Oheb. 3,000 plus in the gold, and Oheb has yet to break the 3,000 threshold. Let's look at where they are at right now. Excuse me, he did break it, but it's closer to 4,000 for Kelra.
Purple buff looking like a big objective because Onic here on a roll right now. Good Lantern Flare there. King Kong soaking up the damage. JP used the AOG defensively.
You see it, man. Like Mpl-Ph, yeah, if you're really just looking at the goal, there's not much of a difference. But the way that they're losing in all parts of the map is because they can't fight. They're getting zoned out everywhere. And a lot of that has to do with just this lineup that Onic Philippines brought. Mind you, we haven't even seen the huge value that the Heart Guard from Brusco can actually play. Whether he goes for King Kong, Kirk, or Kelra. Like, he can choose any of those targets, and it's going to be such value on that ultimate with any of those heroes.
So much value for the entire lineup of Onic Philippines. Seems like a pick your poison type of deal. Not really poison, it's like, oh, what are you feeling like today? Oh, a pullback onto King Kong.
Oh, Shield Unity got disrupted by the Dark Wave. Ash good cast for the Astral Echo, but a solo kill.
Kelra got Oheb down alone in lane. He didn't need any help then.
Well, he didn't even need the Heart Guard. He just goes 1v1. Look at this pressure still. Like I said, Kirk is just bullying right now. Mpl-Ph.
Oh, Kirk in the midst of everything, forcing without the flicker plus the Heart Guard. Brusco is there. Sanford continuing to jump in as Onic applying a lot of pressure into the middle lane. Dark Wave, Infernal Pursuit. They're chasing after Kirk and Brusco. JP goes in with the AOG.
Now Kirk getting chased. Team Liquid will not commit that though. Way too risky. Still very close in terms of the goal. They were able to find resources elsewhere. But this is a do or die objective for Team Liquid. If they lose this massively, you might count the game already for Onic.
Oh, Kirk.
Oh!
Dead again?
The KK connection brings down Oheb as Carl Teasy steals away the turtle. Super Prince goes in with the Crimson Beacon and Lantern Flare.
2 members down on the side of Liquid. It's Carl Teasy and JP. And yeah, I'm going to stick by what I said. If Team Liquid lost that in a big fashion, which they did, count this as done. Onic just needs to hold on and not slip up.
Even just getting the objective, it doesn't mean anything if you lose all that. Plus, Oheb dying again. Very unfortunate for him. He's going to have a lot of room to go ahead and try to catch back up here. Taking a look at just how he needs to go. I mean, look at this. He's only at 4 points. He's got 2 items. He's about 2,000 gold behind.
Okay.
Kelra, oh, hold on.
Again being jumped on, but there's the clutch Heart Guard from Kirk. Will he be able to sustain it? It finally gets a kill and a stack on this Piercer. Brusco might be the next target. So Astral Recall is not going to connect, but still getting chased down by the Filipino sniper. He got dodged down. That's Sonata, but not enough to take down the Bruiser.
The moves and grooves.
The Angela survived the chase by Liquid. Well, that was not on my Mpl-Philippines Season 15 playoffs bingo card.
Just imagine the reality of that. Granger firing off at an Angel, and she's just tiptoeing, dancing around and healing. It's good that he has the Flask of the Oasis, by the way, because that provides a lot of that heal. So that's got to be frustrating. But if Oheb was able to get that kill, that would have been great. But it does get him a little bit closer because I was just pointing out the 2,000 gold difference between him and Kelra, and so he needs moments like that. So again, this could be in that similar fashion like we talked about earlier, where Mpl-Ph has to buy a lot of time. And how do they do that with this kind of lineup? Well, it's moments like that, and maybe even punishing Onic Philippines if they get a little more, you know, confident and overstep a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Onic's game to lose right now. Oheb still desperately catching up in terms of the gold. Purple buff invade by Onic Philippines. Is it going to be a big one?
Kirk just zoning out every single member of
Mpl-Ph.
Kelra from the back. Trying to work on Oheb though, so there's no CC to control Kelra, and he takes down a turret with him.
Jump in.
Oh, clutch Heart Guard there from Brusco. Sanford for the chase, he was too fast. Carl Ceesay jumps in, pops the Wiki Shadow Kill, but Kirk shares the damage as well, and they save Kelra.
Good routing by the run of Kelra as now he's getting chased down. Let's see if Team Liquid Philippines will be able to take down the Aerithal. Kirk now gonna get Dark Wave. He's getting jumped on. King Kong gets alone without a problem, but Kirk falls down to Team Liquid Philippines, but that's all they will get.
Yeah, and all throughout that, King Kong was just working on the Lord, and now the clapback. Super Friends goes in with the Crimson Beacon plus Lantern Flare. Just look at the damage of Kelra alone to all the members of Mpl-Ph.
And this whole time, King Kong gets the Lord. He's managing one of the waves at bottom too, cutting it off. But that's the thing. That was all pretty much a distraction. You saw how long they were able to survive just that whole exchange because of the speed and mobility that Aerithal brings. But then also you throw an Angela on top of that. So great distraction from Onic Philippines. Now it's Mpl-Ph that has to deal with this Lord push.
Lord sieging in onto the top lane. still, Onic Philippines taking the discipline route. Good cast of the Astral Echo to try and prevent Onic from snowballing now, and they will be able to take the Lord down.
If Team Liquid Philippines manages to pull this off, it's going to be one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
Yeah.
PH-MLBB, but Onic look absolutely hell-bent to just sweeping up the cavalry here, to being the first team to make it to MSC, to try and defend their legacy for immortality. They are just mere moments away, but can Team Liquid hold on and extend this to a point where they'll be close enough to turn the whole narrative around?
Yeah, and for Onic, if they manage to sweep Mpl-Ph, this would be the first sweep of our playoffs, and at the same time, the first time a third seed will win over a first seed in the regular season.
Man, I said it yesterday. I was like, there's no way this is going to be a sweep when TLPH was in that position. They're in it now, and it's looking a little dicey. You know, 4K behind. You got a lot of ground to cover still across the lanes here for the majority of it, and they haven't had an answer really just yet to deal with this sustainability that the Angela brings to this. But even then, when you have a lineup that's meant to go ahead and catch people, especially with an Avatar of the Guardian, for example, from JP, but there's just, on the other side, there's so much mobility, you really have to be able to land those Avatar of the Guardians, the unbreakable taunts, and what have you. But it's just difficult. How do you catch Kelra, you know, and how do you get to the right targets here when everybody's running? I mean, think about it. Hilda, Baksha, the Irithil, and
Even
Angela
the Angela.
Yeah, I mean, so your only target is Super Prince. But do you even want to get close to Super Prince? Because then he's just going to throw you around.
Yeah, one of the main targets could be King Kong, but what can you do up against a Baksha that has an Angela, and at the same time, it's hard enough to drop the AOG. What more, the Astral Recalls from Sanji. Sanford forced to flicker because Super Prince is there for the Crimson Beacon. Lantern Flare, Astral Echo drop down. JP goes in for the AOG. Is this it for Onic Philippines? Will they continue? But they force out the Revitalize, and TLPH retreats.
All right, good thing Onic Philippines so backed off there as the Lord already spawned. If they decided to dive that tower, that would have been way too much. Big resources gone though. Good thing Sanford committed that flicker, because if he didn't, he would have gotten caught out. JP went in with the AOG, but he got out as well with the Revitalize, and Onic were disciplined. This does not look good for Liquid. This is going to be an extremely difficult Lord take. Even if Carl TZ can somehow steal it, what will be the price? Will they pay the iron price in blood, get the Lord, but then lose all their bodies and lose the series? Or will they somehow steal this away and get away with just enough to make something out of nothing with a second Lord of the Game?
Okay.
Oh,
good zone.
Dragged in. JP's been dragged everywhere.
Oh, Astral Echo already cast it down. Kelra from the back. AOG used defensively. Here comes Kelra with a hard guard. Brusco as well. Sanford got caught up by forward. A killing spree for Kelra.
And TLPH have already lost one, and they no longer will be able to contest this Lord. A free one for Onic Philippines.
Free one. And there was really no option for TLPH to deal with that. Again, like I was saying, Super Prince doing an amazing job of just zoning everybody out. And even Kelra leaving them guessing when trying to go for an off angle and everything. So TLPH, they find themselves in a predicament here. They're going to have to deal with this Lord push. They are down quite a bit. Do they have a chance here, Renmar, looking at the items?
All right, let's look at where Oheb has had already up to 4 core items. You know, that should be enough damage from his department, but then look at everything else that Onic has. They already have 2 antique harasses, the Wildlight armor, even on King Kong. The front line is extremely well built. Brusco is there to supplement it with everything. Carl TZ! Carl TZ!
Got caught up there, but was able to quad shadowed out. JP again, defensive AOG. Resources expended for TLPH. He does, however, still have the Revitalize.
He's got the Revitalize, doesn't have the ultimate, though. Maybe if they stall out, they'll have it for a big defense, but even then, you can just see how much struggle there is right now for TLPH.
Liquid running out of time. This might just be it. As Onic Philippines just a few steps away from getting close to defending their championship at home. Lord down, Onic goes in!
Base now exposed. Sanford has to flicker out. Good cast of the Dark Wave, but the first man down is Sanford. King Kong soaked up the damage of the Wiki Shadow Kill. Lord still stood up, but TLPH, their base, has now been exposed.
Minion waves are going to be coming in from the top and the mid. No big ultimate here for Onic. Let's see if they'll get a hard guard back up in time. Carl TZ trying.
Oh, they're going to be able to clear out the minions onto the middle lane and the top lane. So Onic...
Oh!
Wind of major! Pop calls easy! OM quite low! JP defensive AOG again! And time after time, Kelra just makes plays like that!
That isn't the god in the gold lane! That is simply Kelra!
Now they're sieging in onto the middle lane. 4 are left to defend. The young goat not in the picture, but Onic Philippines will disengage. Super Prince goes over the Crimson Beacon. Paired up with Kart. They're going to bring down one more. They have minions. Sanford desperately trying to defend, but Kelra goes to the back again. And an unstoppable kill for Kelra.
And it looks like this is it. Onic are going in.
Onic Philippines now a step closer to immortality as they get to defend their crown at the grand finals. But wait, they lost.